Together, growing in faith, changing communities.
Together, growing in faith, changing communities. If you were to go through the first reading, Ecclesiastes chapter 1, there is an overall theme: vanity of vanities. All is vanity. What's your deepest fear? What do you fear the most about life? About your life? What do you fear the most? Let's look at this reading this morning. You find the author of Ecclesiastes, who falls in the genre of wisdom, who looks at life and who says, but everything is vanity. You work so hard, you get up early in the morning, you go to work, you break your back, you accumulate so much, and eventually you die. I look at so many people in their retirement age, and there's so much ailments and illness in their bodies, and they spend most of their money with doctors. We look at people who have worked so hard, have never taken a break. I go to a family member who was a hard worker, who worked all his life, and towards his retirement he was looking forward to it. And I think he had finished work in May. In July he got sick. And for the next 2 years he was bedridden and he died. I look forward, and in looking at the life of Bishop Barry, who worked so well, worked hard, was looking for retirement. A month before his retirement, he nearly died in his house alone. I look at many mothers and fathers who work so much for their children, who want to provide everything, who get their pension money, they pay off the bond, they prepare for the kids, and the kids don't value it. The parent dies, they sell off the money, the house, and they finish off the money. One of the worst things in life, one of the most saddest reality of life, is that your life will end. You will die. And that is the truth. All of us will die. And let us not spiritualize this and say, oh, but when I die, I go to heaven. Oh, when I die, I become an ancestor. Oh, when I die, I see God. No, but the reality is that you're dead. And it's all gone. And you soon realize that I've got so much money in the bank, I've got so much money in the investments, I've got so much. You will never enjoy it. How well am I living my life? Karl Marx and Friedrich Nietzsche came up with a very interesting statement. One says, religion is the opium of the people. The other one says, religion is the opium for the people. Religion is the drug that makes us run away from reality. If you analyze the author this morning, he says to us, in everything that you do, you must know that you will die. And so there are things that one needs to go back to and say, how well am I living? Is there any meaning in what I do? But at the end of the day, one needs to ask a very important question. Am I being honest and truthful with myself? But maybe the other question I should ask, am I happy as a person? Am I happy with the person I am becoming? Am I happy with the people around me? But also there is another thing. In the scale of life, and as you look at your own reality, is it worth it to fight over this? Is it worth it to fight with this person? Am I really going to waste the precious years of my life being angry at this? Am I going to spend the less of my happiness because I've lived the most of my life being angry and bitter? You soon make decisions about life. And you soon realize that there are some battles that are not worth your attention. There are some quarrels that are not worth your attendance. There are some questions that are not worth your answer. There's one thing that we often forget as people. You only live once. You only have one life. And God forbid, if there was no heaven, is this it for you? If there was no heaven at all, is this it? And therefore I need to be honest with myself. I need to live a life with a meaning. And at the end of it all, I need to realize I am made to be happy. So many of our people have suspended their happiness for their children, have suspended their happiness for peace sake, have suspended their happiness so that they are loved and accepted. But they are never truly happy within themselves. One of the greatest realities of being an existentialist is to ask the question, is this it in life? And surely there must be more. God did not leave us here to quarrel, to struggle, to suffer with a greater hope that one day when we're in heaven, everything will be perfect. No, that wasn't the plan. Because if that is our thinking, then it's a very cruel God. He placed us here so that we can live a life full of meaning. He placed us here so that we can be content within ourselves. He placed us here so that we can fully live and fully experience life. There are people who live life with fear. There are people who live life in a shell. There are people who are never truthful to themselves because they have forgotten who they are, or they do not know who they are. My dear brothers and sisters, I love you. I hope you know that. I do. From the bottom of my heart, I do. But I will leave you one day. But my life must continue. Just as your children will leave you. Just as your spouse will leave you. You cannot define your existence on someone else. You cannot define your existence on your capabilities. You must be bigger and greater than that which defines you. In the gospel, Jesus says something so sad. A man who has built a mansion, an empire for himself, who looks and who says, I've achieved, and who says, now relax and be at peace, for everything is yours. And Jesus says, this very night you will die. When you die, where are you going to be buried? When you die, where are you going to be buried? Okay, you're going to be cremated, and then where are you going to be cremated? It's only in some parts of Africa where you are buried with your car, not in South Africa. When you die, impethu edlamina izodlamina. And there's one thing you must never forget. Once impethu yaqeda ukudla wena, zidlala zodwa bese ziyafa. You can have everything in life, but you will live it